We're back with our breaking news coverage of Hurricane Florence. We're looking at an American flag flying off of Cape Fear in North Carolina. Hours earlier, it was fully intact, but it is, of course, weathering the storm. There it is a few hours ago. This flag, of course, still standing. Flag was still there. One of the reasons why this storm is so dangerous, of course, is the storm surge, the rising seawater. FEMA Administrator Brock Long said earlier that the storm surge has the highest potential to kill the most amount of people and cause the most destruction. Let's go to CNN's Tom Foreman in the virtual studio. Tom, explain this phenomena for us, the storm surge, and how it's going to come into play in all likelihood with Hurricane Florence.
And Jake, a storm surge is not a wall of water or one big wave, typically, as some people imagine. Rather, it's a series of smaller waves, a bulge in the water that is being pushed to shore by all of these winds, and then it overtakes the water. And of course, when it floods in, it can do a tremendous amount of damage. If you had 2 or 3 feet, as we forecast in some areas, that's enough to destroy some cars, to really cause significant damage to homes. But when you talk about these areas where we're going to have 9 to 13 feet, in that case, it's a different ballgame. Now you have enough water to eat away at, to erode the foundation of a home, to batter the upper portions of the home with waves and wind as well at that point. And once it gets inside and starts churning around, that is far more force than any home is really meant to take. And there are some real warning signs about the number of homes here that are in that danger. We have a lot on low land, particularly around estuaries, creeks, rivers, which will funnel that storm surge right up toward these houses. There is a shallow coastal shelf here, meaning the storm surge can get a lot of momentum and just ride it right up over the land and keep going. And importantly and interestingly, this is now a weaker, slower moving storm. If it were stronger, more focused and faster, the storm surge actually might be less. But this can drag it up very slowly, and that water can just grind and grind and grind. Jake?
Show us on the map, if you can, Tom, specifically where all these factors likely will most come into play.
Yeah, basically any place that you see here with color on it is a place where you can have that kind of damage. And if you look at one particular community here, I just want to show you one. If you go into Vanceboro, this is 60 miles from the coast. And if it gets the kind of flooding we think, it could change from this to that. Jake?
All right, Tom Foreman, our coverage on CNN continues.